Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimatananda Tirtha Bhagavad Padacharyo Namo Namaha Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Stititolaya Niyati Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibuddha Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparita Matiprabodhan Vadan Nirasya Kritavan Buvidatva Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Anandatirthamunivegam Namami Ujjaya Raghavendraya Satya Dharmarataya Pajatam Kalpavrikshaya Namatam Kamadhenave Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahehi Tejasvina Vadidamastu Ma Vishvidavahehi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Friends, welcome to the most important session of the Kathopanishad, because the Upanishad proper, the very moot question, which is a question every religion has been trying to find out the truth behind that. It's not only our religion, all over the world. And not only the religions, even the scientifically in the psychoanalysts and the psychiatrists and psychoneurologists, all of them are also trying to find what exactly happens to the human beings as they live, as well as they know, because there is a time clock for everyone. There's a clock built in, as we come into this world. As per the clock only, it goes to the entire life is being taken, and how it has been taken to this one. So the mantra, what we will recite the mantra, and then we will also go about the exposition of that. This is the mantra number 20, which is in the document which you can refer to. The mantra says, Yayam prete vichiksa manushye astityeke. Yayam prete vichiksa manushye astityeke. Because what people say, after prete in the sense, normally we know what preta. Preta is the body without life. But that is the apparent meaning. But it has got a great meaning in which we will go about it and all. Yayam prete vichiksa manushye astit eke na naya yam astit cheke cha eke. What is either the body, once it goes, it is after that something exists. That is soul. Soul is existing, or soul has got something to do. It is existing, or it is being controlled. Manushye astityeke nayam astityeke. This is some say no, it's not existing. There is nothing. Once the body has gone, it has gone. Whatever it is, ashes to ashes, earth to earth, and ashes to ashes, earth to earth. And then, entire thing goes off with the entire, all the 5 elements goes off. There is nothing like that. So dust to dust, ashes to ashes, earth to earth. This is what, Christianity finally, when they lay the entire, in their body is being laid in the coffin. This is what being said. But when they say, finally you are going into that. So when this is there, he wants Yama to tell this particular question as the third question. Yes, he has to ask only 3 varas. This is the third vara he is asking. So why he is asking as the third vara? What is the importance of asking this third vara? He has asked the first vara. When I go back, my father should be Shantam, because he should be able to accept me as his son with the same love and affection. And, because he told me, in a sort of fit of anger, because I pointed out his mistake while conducting this yaga. You are giving Jagtadoga, because when Nirindriya, you are giving all these pashus, you are not going to get the benefit of it. That's what I pointed out to him. He asked me, whom are you going to give? I asked him first, twice and thrice. He said, because the mritte dadami, because I will give it to you the death. That's how, I have come into this. That was the second one. So he wanted the first vara. You better, when I get back, my father should be able to accept, and I should be able to be his son who is, sort of a befitting, his love and affection. I should not create any more anger in him. I should be able to live as per his direction, as pleasing to him. That's what he wants. That's what everyone wants, because after all, everyone wants to be sort of a good to their parents, and sometimes the parents are good depending upon their mental framework. depending upon the circumstances and depending upon, because the generation gap, because their expectations is based on their what they have seen of their parents, and our children expectation of what they are seeing of us. If you are expecting the same thing, as what you have been seeing with your parents, same will not happen, because things have changed. So only when you are able to accept the change, you will be able to get the entire life to a particular linear moment where you will be able to gather the knowledge and experience it as best as possible. Therefore, every change that is coming about, without getting affected, impacted by that, we should be able to accept the change and move about it. How to move about it, that is one of the things, because that is the second Vara, what he wanted is, he wanted to know about the Swargiya Agni. Swargiya Agni, we called it, Nachiketa Agni. Finally, it was named after him because he was so he has mastered it so well. He has taken it everything, to the hilt, and the Yama was so happy with him. He said, I am going to name it after you. You have done it as so great a thing. And he also tells him the glory of this Nachiketa that we have seen the earlier mantra 16, 17, and 18. After doing that, finally he is asking this question. So this question, why? Because it should have arisen to him. Because after all, he has asked, because Nachiketa Agni, he said, well, Nachiketa Agni has been elaborated 3 times. You do the Nachiketa Agni. The number 3, importance of number 3 also, we try to elaborate. If you remember the entire the Kathopanishad, as we have gone through the long journey, 3 nights he was there, without any water, food, or anything like that. He stayed in Yama's house. So when you say it is basically, it's a sort of vision. It's not that physically, because his soul, his Sushma Sarira has gone, because he left his body, because as it is, his body would have been decomposed, because the time is so short, it would have been burnt. But this has all happened in a flash of a moment. It's all a soliloquy, and it is all a vision. The vision that would have come about, the highest vision, like, the Bhagavad Gita, when it was being told to Arjuna, because the entire Bhagavad Gita, when it was said, because it was only between Jnana Drishti who had, they only could see. Others, were all there, but they were not able to. It is a direct, the knowledge given by Krishna to Arjuna. At that point of time, it was all others were standing still. But only, the Krishna and Arjuna, they were thinking, the only person who knew everything without missing anything is Sanjaya. Sanjaya Uvacha, the first, when the Bhagavad Gita starts, it is the Sanjaya who has been given the Jnana Drishti by Vyasa, so that he is able to see and narrate it to Dhritarashtra. Because Dhritarashtra is not able, he doesn't have an eye. And he doesn't have an eye, not only a physical eye, he also doesn't have the Jnana Drishti, because he is so sort of fond of his children. He had all the raga towards his children, his affection, everything. And he had a dvesha towards Pandavas. So he will not be able to have the Jnana Drishti, even if he has been given. That's why Vyasa chose to give the Sanjaya. One of the Sanjaya's name also, they give some sort of etymologically, Samyukta Ragadvesha Rahita, because he doesn't have a Ragadvesha. Samyukta, Sanjaya. That is why, because he knows his quality, he was a charioteer. Who is Chandaya? He is a charioteer to Dhritarashtra. He knows he is doing it is so big. He is like a blinkers. He will do only what has been given to him with the total concentration. And he has got so much of dedication. And he doesn't have any Ragadvesha or any sort of a personal wants, personal likes and dislikes. Nothing is there. That's why he has been given the Jnana Drishti. It is not, he could have given to anyone else. But Sanjaya has been given. Sanjaya is the most fortunate in the entire the episode, because he is the one who has seen everything without missing a point. So therefore, it is like this. It's like a vision. When it happened, because before the body decomposed, he will be coming back. So in that, it's the vision that has taken place. He goes, and finally his wife, Sulakshana, she sees that, and Shamala, Shamala is the wife of Yama. And she says, because this boy, he was just, because elsewhere, busy with that. And he is a god of death, he has to carry on the thing like that. 3 nights, and he didn't have any food or anything like that. Finally, if you are doing it, Putra Pashun, because Ishta Prapti, everything will go on. because that is how Atithi has to be treated. Whenever a Atithi comes, it is some Vaishvanara Agni is coming. A Vaishvanara, because the Advaita also, the Vaishvanara consciousness, he comes to your house to give you a great message, to give you a great comfort, of a possible sort of a calamity that is likely to happen, or to give you a great boon by which, you can get into a different dimension. That is why whenever someone, who is not known, or whenever someone comes, so it is always, the custom as well as, the in thing, in the entire Sanatana Dharma, particularly in all our places. Anyone who comes will be entertained, without unannounced when he comes, he will be entertained because, there is something, we don't know the message. We don't know the knowledge, which is likely to come. We don't know what is the experience we are likely to get. So it's not that always you will be expecting that and all, because you will be in the normal course of the life. But someone will come and tell you, because see, so many things it has happened. A person who didn't know anything about the UPSC, he was in the veterinary college. And someone, when he was traveling in a train or something like that, he happened to meet someone and he said, where is he going? No, he's going for his preparation because he's going to give some exam. When he came to know what is this exam and what are all the subjects, then he took interest. He just came to know about that. And finally, because he also thought, it seems to be a good stream, and he also, he got the entire idea of taking up that exam to UPSC exam and to become someone. And finally, he took up the exam. He came with the merits, and finally, he is one of the finest IAS officers. He is the Chief Secretary, present Chief Secretary of Tamil Nadu. See, it all happens. How the message comes? Message comes, because you are destined. And it comes through someone. Suppose, if you are trying to be, introvert, you will not be talking to anyone and all. It will not happen. But when you are trying to be, sort of anyone, who comes, discusses with you unannounced, if you are able to open, and then you are able to see that, you get a message. That's how it makes it. It's a turning point in life. It's so many times it has happened like that. Even the person who was the chairman of ISRO, the Sivan, who recently retired, he did his BSc. He's from a college, where I did my pre-university in Nagarkoil. It is ST Hindu College. So he is from a village, close by village. So he did his BSc physics or something like that, and he didn't know what to do. He thought, he will go for post-graduation. Then someone said, no, there is a course like this. Because Abdul Kalam, he has also come from that. There is a Madras Institute of Technology is there. So he went there because there only the aeronautical stream was there. Aeronautical stream was not in engineering colleges per se as it is in down south. So it was also a sort of they were giving us a diploma only, but 3-year, but very valid and validated diploma. It had a very good value in those days. So he took it up. Finally, the history is there, and he went to Vikram Sarabhai Institute of Space Sciences in Trivandrum, and he became like that. It all comes as a turning point. Most of us may not be knowing, the stream which we are going to take or how our life is going to be. Even some organization we might not have heard, but suddenly someone will find it's a good organization. That's how we get. These are all per chance. These messages come. It is intentionally come. You are destined to get it. That is why you should always, be alert whenever such a message comes. That is the importance of Atithi that has been brought about in this Upanishad. Tithi is the someone who announces and comes. Your friends, your family, they will come. Tomorrow we are coming for a marriage, we will be there for a day or two. That will come. So when you have that, because there also you will get some good things, but it will be a sort of a natural things, which is happening on a day-to-day basis. But someone comes unannounced, someone whom you are not destined to meet, when he gives you a real message like that. That is how, finally Nachiketa got that. And in turn, since they do not want to be sort of, because in fact, there is a Kathopanishad Samhita, there is one particular, another version is there. There, Nachiketa, when he is there, Yamas needs a different version, not what we have seen as it is. Here, he has not taken any food and all. There also, he has not taken any food. So there, Yama asked, the first night what you have taken? I have taken all your offsprings. The next day he says, I have taken all your wealth. Third day, all your punyas from all the good deeds that I have taken. That's what he says. In the sense, whatever goes off by not looking after the Atithi, he says in straightforward word, this is one version of the Kataka Samhita, which has come about. But what we have seen is, he has been starving, he has not taken anything. The Yama comes, and at that point of time also he doesn't want to take anything, because he doesn't want to take anyone else's wealth or anyone else's sort of hospitality, because he has come here purely for the purpose of knowledge. Nachiketa. That is straightforward. That is why he has come here with that, and he is asking for the second vara. Once he has gone, because everyone is talking about Swarga, the Swargiya Agni, why don't you give me the knowledge? I have come for that. Rest of it are all not important to me. That's what then Swargiya Agni knowledge was given to him as a second vara. And he absorbs so well, and finally even the Agni is being named after that. He gives him a golden necklace, Shrinka. Aneka Rupam, we said, because Aneka Rupam, it's a golden chain which he gives. But then that he also doesn't take it. A chain is the one which bonds you to the bondage, whatever, all the sort of worldly things, it gets attached. That also he doesn't take it. But he offers, Yama offers. He gives him all the inducements so that, let him be satisfied with whatever boon he wants to ask. Because Yama doesn't want to, because he is the Lord of Death. When he is a Lord of Death, death is not a sort of a, the word which, well, I think it is, it is inevitable, but that word, normally people don't use it, in the sense, for the, it is called Freudian paradox. You will be talking about the death of someone else, but, you will not be talking about, about, your family or about your, because you are close by and all. Because we know, because when it happens, it happens, let us go about doing it and all. Because this is a human resistance is there. Just to, because you may be attending so many sort of, the funerals and other things and all. You know what is happening, that is a natural, all of us know, because our the Dharma said, even the entire, when we know, Brihadaranya Upanishad also says, Asatoma Sadgame, Tamasoma Jyotirgame, Mrityoma Amritam Game. We know that because that Upanishad itself says, you take me from the death to immortality. How to do that? Because likewise, Asatoma Sadgame, from untruth to truth. Tamasoma Jyotirgame, from darkness to light. And Mrityoma Amritam Game, from this perishable body and other things to the immortality. That's what you're doing. This is what he has been told and all. And the glorification of that entire, Nachiketa Agni, he was given elaborately, and he has also done that. Because in the Nachiketa Agni, one of the important things was done was, he has to do Yajna Dana Tapaha. Yajna Dana Tapa he has to do, then only, he becomes eligible to get the Nachiketa Agni. So why, he comes to the third question, he asked the question is, you become eligible to know about this last question, what you are taking, prete, because when we say what happens after death and after life and all, you become eligible only when you are through with all these particular, because Yajna, Dana, Tapa, which you are supposed to do it. So Yajna, Dana, Tapa, we have seen, what is Yajna, Dana, Tapa, and we have briefly seen what is it and all, because this has to be done by everyone. There is no sort of exemption for, because you are a sannyasi, you will be in the mud, you will not be able to do that, that doesn't happen and all. Because they say yajna, dana, tapa, karma, because we are all samsarika, we will have to do the action, karma, we will have to work, we have to earn for our life. We will have to do so many other things. Yajna, dana, tapa, karma, karmam na thyajyam, karma evatat. Because you cannot thyajyam, you cannot give up. You will have to do that. Yajna, dana, tapa, karma, all samsarika will have to do that. Whereas yajna, dana, tapaschaiva, pavanani, manishina. Because those who are in sannyasa, they have to do yajna, dana, tapa. They may not have to do the karma. Because they don't have a family, they don't have to look after. Because in fact, they are not supposed to be doing anything. Even for their food, whatever is being offered, that's what they will have to get. For them, the karma doesn't happen. Because the karma, in the sense, for them, they have to move to the yajna, dana, tapa. In that process, whatever karma comes in the process of doing it, that only they will have to do it as a worship. But samsarika, they will have to do. When it has been to be done, that is, because you should not give up. You should not give up action. You should not desist from. You can't be telling, I am doing yajna, dana, tapa. I have done Upanishad. Then I will sit quiet. And I will be totally be only thinking about Lord, not do anything. That is not allowed. You will have to do whatever because Varnashrama, why it has been given. Varnashrama has been given. You have got assigned duty to do. You will have to do. It's not a retirement plan. It is a plan of it's active life. You will have to engage yourself in day-to-day activities. You cannot do. You cannot desist from that. You cannot procrastinate. That's what Krishna Vicheta will be said. That is why, because in all the Upanishad and all, Isavashyam, Idagam Sarvam, Itkincha Jagatyam Jagat, Tena Taktena Bunjitaha, whatever, Tena Taktena Bunjitaha, whatever you are able to get, you be happy with that in the sense, okay, I am contented, because one of the points against Hinduism is Hinduism gives contentment. When you are to be contented, you will not be acting. So when you will not be acting, there will not be any economic activity, and entire, Hindu growth of in those days, it's a Hindu growth of economy. They used to say 2% growth we used to have in the first 5-year plan and all. That is, they used to call Hindu growth. Because Hindus are contented. It's not like that. We will have to be active because it is the misunderstanding of the Upanishad and scriptures. When it is said, whatever, because whatever comes in the way, you will have to take it and don't go which is not. That is why the next line says, you don't try to covet someone else's. You try to earn and get everything with your own knowledge, with own your efforts and with own your sort of skills. Don't try to covet something, because that is, because trying to cheat. That's what don't say. Covet, even the property or a person, anything and all. Don't do that. That's what the Isavashyam first mantra said. But the second mantra, when it is said, when it is said, you have jijiviche sadam samaha. You have to live for 100 years by doing the karma. You cannot be 100 years. Why they said? Because you will have to do karma. It's not 100 years. You only be doing the japa and live like a dumb. You are not supposed to. You will have to do kurvan yevehe karmani jiji vichetam samaha. Because there is no other way. Kurvan yevehe karmani. You have to do that. That is why kurvate karmani yat pritaye sajjanaha. In Dwadasya Sostram, Madhvacharya says kurvate karmani. Yat prichaye sajjana. Sajjana in the sense any right person, the righteous person, what he will do as a karma, do that. You are not supposed to be keeping idle. That is exactly said. Here also same thing it is being done. The Yajnadana Tapa in the sense it is not that austerities and you be keeping yourself to the pujas and all. You have got to be active in the life. That's what is said. So when they said because when we do all the prayachitam in our Sandhya Vandanam and all, what we say, Manasa Vacha Padbyam Udarani Sisna. That's what we say when you do the prayachitam. In the Pratakala prayachitam and Madhyanya Sayam you say. So what they again, how it says, that is why because it says what is for Shariram, Padbyam Udarani Sisna, because Sharira Shuddhi is to be there. And Vak Shuddhi is Vangmayam, because you see when you see anything, how you are communicating, your communicating is through your mouth only, your walk. Vangmayam, it comes through that, and then it is how it comes because your mind commands what to be said. Manasa, chitta, it gives, because which gives you what is right and all. Intellect and chitta works, and finally they give you the words into your mouth. It is you are being speaking. So manasa, vacha, padbyam, udarani sisna. Because when they said manasa, vacha, and padbyam, shariraka. The shariraka suddham is Devadvijat Guru, Pragya Pujanam, Shaucham, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam, Ahimsa Cheva, Shariram Tapa Uchate. Because in the sense, all these things for Shariram, what is that? Well, the Shariram, the best thing is, you will have to be sort of a very, very sort of worshipful. You will have to be respect your devas, whatever you are puja. Deva is, because what you puja, Deva is the only one who is the creator, who is the destroyer, and who is also looking after you. Sthiti Samharaka, Sthiti Siri Samharaka, it is finally the Brahman. Dvija is the one who has got the knowledge of Brahman, not Brahmin as it is. Dvija, because that's why I used the word, because we are all in a way we can be called as Dvijabandhu, in the sense Brahmins without Brahminical qualities. That is Dvijabandhu. Real Dvija is the one who has got the knowledge of Brahman. He is the real one. Because the Chinmayananda, because he's not a Brahmin, but then who he is a real Dvija, in the sense he's a knowledge of the Brahman is far superior to thousands of yogis and jnanis in this country, who are claiming themselves to be one. So likewise, anyone who, okay, that is the Dvija. And Guru, any Guru, who is Guru is only is removing the darkness, and he is giving the darkness and he brings into you, and he understands you, what you are capable of, and what is your ability, and what skills you possess, how you should be given. Because a Guru teaches, there may be 10 sessions, he may be teaching the same verse, but he will be, when he attending to each one, he will give it in their own way. That is how he brings you to a level, because he makes you from the mere, the mineral, and polishes it, from gold, and he brings it to you to the final level. You become something like a polished one, and you are being kept, as a sort of a enlightened one. He makes it. That is only Guru only can do that, because he is able to see. He has got an objective. He is not subjective, because you are not his son, you are not his relative. You are somebody who has come for the knowledge. He knows what is the sort of, how much thirst you have. He knows that. Depending upon your thirst, he tries to impart the knowledge so that you are able to get it. Guru. Pragya. Pragya is the one, who has become sort of an enlightened. Pragya is also, called, Sushupta, finally Sushupta Sthana. It is the Pragya is, because even the Brahman is called the Pragya. He is the one, you are under the influence of the Pragya. He is the one who takes you into his arms. And so that you are totally sorrow free, and you are in a wonderful modate, you are in such a rejoicing mood. So that's why he is called the that is a pragya. So pragya is such a one, like an enlightened one, masters, your acharyas, they are all like pragya. So pujanam, saucham arjavam, saucham in the sense whatever saucha vidhi anushtanam, there is a big scripture in Sanatana Dharma. Most of us may not be knowing. Right from morning, you are washing your face, brushing your teeth, and morning oblations. Even if you are washroom ethics, and how to be, sort of, take anything, water, food, or anything like that, and how to take bath, and after bath, how to the Sauchavadi Anushtanam is a series of slokas. Perhaps it's not possible for us to follow in those days. The facilities were there, but even then, it has come out indirectly. During the Corona period. Because whatever we are doing is whatever has been given in the Sauchavati Anushtana, most of it. So Saucham Arjavam is the simple thing. Because you should not have any ego. Simple living, in the sense, simple. You should not have any ego. You should not always think. Look, if someone is even if you meet someone, he is trying to explain you something, but you may be knowing more than him. Doesn't matter, but you try to find, because what is he trying to tell? He said that, because will you be able to give any value to him, or will you be able to give him something, or you don't know something he's trying to tell, will you be able to get knowledge? Because just because you are not interested in the subject, the man may be knowing, with all the sort of, he must be tuned up, to tell you something. You should try to find what is he trying to tell, because you may be missing, because you are destined to get some knowledge. If you try to sort of brush aside, look, I am not interested in geography, or it doesn't matter. You may not be interested in geography, but little nuggets are like gold. In California, when gold was being explored, finally they got it in nuggets. So if you're getting a nugget, why don't you take it? Because that's how it comes. When Nachiketa goes all the way to Yamaloka to get this knowledge, in the earthly life, so many people come to offer us a knowledge. We should not waste any occasion. That is where, when you say, I don't want to take it, that is again a dvesha. That dvesha should not be there. You should be open to hearing anything. Whatever is you good, take it and leave rest of it. Rest of it in the sense, some people will try to color it, because don't take the coloring. What is the message you take it? That's what, this is what it is. Brahmacharyam, ahimsa se sariram tapa uchyate. This is what, the yajna is what, tapa, what is being said is for sharira tapa. For anudvekaram vakyam satyam prihetam, which we said. Satyam priheram vakyam chayate swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. So when you are talking anudvekaram, should not be agitated. When you are talking something, you should be, you want to tell something, but you are so agitated, you are not able to tell anything. In a sort of a, you give instructions, in a sort of a frenzy. but your instruction will not be clear at all. Anudvekakaram. There should not be any vega. Anudvekakaram vakyam. Satyam priyahitam, because it should be, someone should be willing to hear. It should be palatable. It should be sort of a sweet. Your words should be sweet. You should be able to hear. Even in your house, if you are trying to tell something to your son, he's doing something, try to do it in such a language he is able to get it. If you say, I've been telling, months, you've not been listening, that will not work. Because you will be telling 100 times, it is the 101st time. He will not bother. Then you will have to give, look, see, if you can do little bit, I think you will get the benefit of it. I think, in fact, you can do little better than me. If you give it as a suggestive way, you will be able to take it better. See, that is the way of telling, niceties of telling. So, because when what happens, we may be knowing the law, how the great lawyers, are being respected because they know how to put the law palatable to the judge to appreciate. So they have to present the facts in the light of the law, the niceties of the law. That is how it happens. Satyam vakyam prihitam swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapo uchyate. Manaprasadaha samyaptam. Because when manas comes, how will you keep, because, okay, you are able to control, you are doing some practice, you are able to try to talk, it's a practice only. Over a period of time only you will get. Immediately it will not happen. Because it's a nature. Nichocha bhavam gataha. We have also got a nature. As long as you are getting entangled into the world and everything and all, the clarity of the mind will not be there. So Anudveka Karanam Vakyam automatically will come. Because every time in a person, you can see some people agitated and all. I know one person, when he is asked to do something and all, no, I can't do. No one has told me like that. No, I will resign. Because in the office I have seen like that. But the man is good. He is capable. But unfortunately, he doesn't have any. He has not created the mental framework. He's a capable person, and it has not been reflected in his confidence to do it. He thinks everything, is something. Because he always, these are all people who has to be always prodded to get the work done. That should not happen. You should automatically, because how will you go into the dimension? See, suppose if a person, you tell him, even if you are secretary, you try to find, whether he is there and all, and, you get him on the line. You simply say, because some top people will say like that. If he says, he will ring up and finally say, no, he's not available. That's not the answer you should give. You should wait and try to find from his secretary when he is available. And when he's available, try to contact him, then give it to your boss. Simply going and telling he's not available, because that phone itself, because when the other person has not picked up, he's not available. So therefore, going beyond what you can do is the one is appreciated in every walk of life. So suppose, someone is your wife is coming late. It is 8 o'clock. But you will not wait for your wife to come and cook the food. If you are capable, you will try to do whatever, with your own sort of innovation. You try to do something. So let her also enjoy the benefit, or let her also have the same pleasure as you had it. Let her also suffer for once. So it doesn't matter. So you should not be thinking like that, because that is why the positivity, because proactiveness will have to come about. Why I am giving you is the question number 20, what we are going to see. These are all comes, you've gone through all these stages where you got the mind suddenly, because everyone wants to know what after death. How many people will be really be interested in knowing that? They know hundreds of people, millions of people are dying. See, even Ukraine, war is happening. We don't know the count of death, because no one is giving the number. But it is a number for us, for near and dear, because it is a sort of the entire personality, the one breadwinner who has gone. It is for them. For us, it doesn't matter. It is only a mere number. So then, this is where exactly when you have all these things, why, when you have Anudvekakaram Vakyam, even try to find. So there is a reason behind it. So you always, one of the reasons, why we always have the problem is we think, we only have the very, very tough problem to face for us. Others are all happy, facing. We don't know the battle he is fighting. He may not be telling you. He has got his own battle to fight. He may be fighting a war like what is happening in Ukraine. That is why, as far as you are concerned, you try to be pleasing. You talk to everyone in the same language, sweet language, palatable, and he is able to listen to you and you are able to interact. And mana prasada, the next one is how to control the mana. Mana is the one always getting agitated, in the sense always thoughts are being bombarded one after the other. So when it is being bombarded, you don't know, you are thinking about something, suddenly some other thought comes. You think, tomorrow I have to go to bank. Suddenly you get a phone call. No, I think, day after tomorrow there is a Upanayam to attend. And then, there is someone, and you got a pressure from your family. Look, we were planning to go to that place. We have not gone today evening, at least we'll have to go. All these things will come. When one thought comes, the other thought goes off. So therefore, how to control? The controlling is also aspect. And another thing, let us understand, the human mind can be controlled. You can attempt to control only when you hold on to something, you can give up something. So what is that you have to hold on? That is what in the Upanishad and other things. If you are to hold on your own continuous stream of thoughts, you will be continuously be agitated. That is why this, what I am reciting is also Gita 17th chapter. What I told you, the earlier two mantras are 14 and 15. This is the mantra number 16 of the 17th chapter. Mana prasadaha saumyatvam. Mana prasadaha saumyatvam. The mind gives you as a prasad, saumyatvam, in the sense, what you are speaking, what you are doing, what you are thinking, all are same. No different about it. If I have to understand, the very simple poem written by one Namakkal Ramalingam Pillai in Tamil, that was beautifully give this particular mantra in a very simple words. Solluவது எல்லாருக்கும் சுலபமாகும், சொன்னபடி நடப்பவர்கள் மிகவும் சொற்பம். தொல்லுலகில் நாமறிந்த தலைவர்களுள் உத்தமனார் காந்தியைப் போல் ஒருவர் உண்டு. This is what we have said. சொல்லுவது எல்லாருக்கும் சுலபமாகும், சொன்னபடி நடப்பவர்கள் மிகவும் சொற்பம். That's what exactly this Manaprasada Saumyatvam. Saumyatvam, Saumya, they name it. But Saumya may not be, she may be Asaumya, she may not be doing it. Because basically this is the great quality. This is the quality once you have the agitation of the mind, it can be controlled and all. Basically what happens, how do you do it? See, because we have got two Ita and Pingala nadis are there. Ida is on the left, Pingala is on the right. We have got 36,000 nodes are there. So Ida and Pingala nadis, they give directions to different way of, it balances the body. You have got one Sushmana nadi which is going entire, because in the middle through the heart. To your Sushmana, because Agnya Chakra and Sahasrara, it goes there and all. When your Ida Pingala are balanced, your Sushmana will be very active. So what you are doing, when you are doing something and you will only be talking about it at this point of time. If I am talking about Upanishad, I will only be looking into Upanishad, knowing about Upanishad, my thoughts only be concerning, what are the Upanishad thoughts, which I have to tell, which I am still to sort of trying to ferret it out, what does it mean, because it is a sort of a continuous exploration, Nitidhyasana. Unless I have it, I will not be able to tell you that. The same thing when you are going mindfulness, what they call, it is the sort of mindfulness, fully putting into that. So at that point of time, when you get Manaprasada Samyukta, so you will not be thinking, because when someone is talking about some X or Y, Z, immediately what the thoughts will, he is a very rich man, I am poor. See, immediately it doesn't stop at that. You think, you are pitying on yourself. I am not so rich. I am little poor. This should not happen. Samyatam in the sense, you should be balanced. Nothing should affect you. Nothing should happen. And you should be mindful always. Manaprasada Samyatam Maunam Atma Vinigraha. So once you have Manaprasada Samyatam, you will only be, silence will be the language you will be speaking. You will not be unnecessarily be intruding unless you are required to. And if you are required to, when you talk, it will also be Anudveka Karam Vakyam Satyam Prihayitam. It will also be very pleasing, palatable. You will only talk what is necessary, what is going to be helpful to the other person. Samyuktam Manam Atma Vinigraha Bhavam Shamshuddhi iti eta tapo manasam uchyate. See, Bhavam Shamshuddhi, in the sense it is not only, because you are speaking all good words, your mind also be in that bhava. Your bhava should be also sort of a very pleasing, your sort of helpful bhava should be there. You want to be sort of a kind to someone, compassionate. You want to you don't want anything to be, you do not want any way to be causing any harm to him. That is there, bhava samshuddhi. If it all there, that is the one, when you will finally have the unagitated mind. These are all the prerequisites he had before coming to this question. And based on that only, he had the three Nachiketa Agni, the Swargiya Agni, which was finally named after him. He also got the gold chain. And finally, we got the knowledge of Brahmaja, what we call. Because Pratipadya, whatever Vedas are trying to expound, and finally the ultimate goal of Veda and Upanishad, he is getting that, you will be able to get only with this Yajna, Dana, Tapa. Only you are able to control your Sarira, even Saucham, when you have, everything and all. And Brahmacharyam, Ahimsa, all those things, and Advekakaram, Vakyam, Satyam, Prihitam, Chayat, Swadhyaya Abhyasanam. Swadhyaya Abhyasanam means recite, whatever scriptures. Maybe it's not necessarily Veda or anything like that. Since this Upanishad is common to the entire mankind, if you are a Parsi, try to go by the Zendavesta, which tells you, all the great qualities. It is supposed to be one of the great exponential scriptures of those days, in that part of the world, Middle East, in Persia. So likewise, for us, we let us go to Upanishad and Vedas and all the great, the great wealth, treasure that our forefathers have given. Shraddhaya Paraya Taptam Tapasta Trividam Narehi. Because when you do 3 times, this is the Nachiketa Agni. Once you are having, because Manasa, Vakya and Shariram, when you are able to do, and when you are able to keep in line with this one, then it becomes the 3 Nachiketa Agni. You are able to realize who is this, and how you are able to Brahmaja Gyam. Because when you are able to Jnana of that, that is how you are able to understand. Once you understand that you have got, the highest Brahman, the power, whom you have come to know, then he has come to this question, which we talked about. This is the turning point of the entire Upanishad proper. This is what, exactly we are talking about in the mantra number 20, where we have come. Yeyam prete vitiksa manushye astitye yeke na asyam na iyam astite cheke. Because some says after birth, after death, there is a soul is there and all. Soul, where it goes, what happens? What happens after death? That is the simple, straightforward question on that. And for this, the next word he uses, Yetat Dvitiyam, Yetat Vidyam, Anusishtat Tvaya Aham Varamena Vinishya. I want to know from you, you are the Lord of Death. Yetat Vidya, this Vidya, to know what happens to the person, the individual. We can't say body, what happens to the individual, that is the soul. You can call it soul or Atman, whatever it is, what happens after death. And Anusishta Tvaya Aham, because Anusishta Tvaya, because from you I want to learn Anusishya. I want to get it, that particular knowledge from you. Varanema Varasthritiya. This is the Vara Tritiya. This is the 3rd Vara I am asking. Now we will go into this first mantra, first word itself. Prete, because we thought, because it is going to be the body. Preta is body, that's what we know about. That is a simple, straightforward sort of the meaning that can be attributed. It is not necessarily it is being used. Because this is Preta is called Prakrishta Payana. This is where Upanishad, to understand that, you will not be able to understand simply by seeing the straightforward meaning, one may be able to get out of that. Because that's why it is called the secret knowledge. Why Vedas and Upanishads is called secret knowledge? You have to dive deep into you go into the etymology of the words and get into the meaning. Prete, in the sense, it is Prakrishta Payana, what is happening. Prakrishta Payana, what it happens is, because after that, you are into some sort of a sacred pilgrimage. The most wonderful pilgrimage you are going, Prakrishta Payana, that is what happens. That is only Sushma Sarira. And is it Sushma Sarira? Why he is asking them? In Yam Preti, Vichiksa is how, to understand, how to debate, how to do the Anusandhana, how to sort of explore that and understand that. Some say, it is there. Manushya Astitya, because, it is there. Manushya Astitya, it is the soul is there, the way it is, soul is there, or not, we don't know, but some say it is there. Some say it is not there. How we will try to understand that? Because he is asking a philosophical question with a broad sweep. How the philosophies have tried to explain this, and which one I have to take? Because you are the Lord of Death. You tell me what really happens. I want to know that. And he comes to this after doing the Trinachiketa Agni and brought, unagitated mind, unagitated body, and he is able to maintain the entire thing, because he was able to be on the all causal stream, because as well as physical, subtle, and causal, all the three, he has reached the highest dimension. Then after that, he is asking this question. When he is asking this question, the first reaction, would be someone immediately, he will not be, because Yama will not be, whether he says or not, we will see. He wants to know it from him because he is the Lord of Death. He knows the full details of it. So Prete is not merely Prete, because this is one Bhashya, because certain Bhashyas have said whether it is the soul is existing or whether the body is existing and the soul is still there. Whether it is still there or not, or if the soul is not existing, what happens? It is only the body that goes off, as Charavaka philosophy has said. So this is exactly he wants to know. If the soul is existing, what happens to that? How the soul will be existing? So if the soul alone goes, see here we will have to remember that those who have had the occasion to know Isavasya Upanishad, there is a mantra, which is talking about this particular thing, which is in fact is being recited, at the time of the last journey also. Vayur anilam atitam, Vayur anilam atitam, Brahma Basmantam Shariram. Vayum anilam amritam atetam basmantam shariram. Vayur anilam atitam vayur anilam atitam vayur anilam asmatam vayur anilam amritam atetam basmantam shariram. Vayur anilam amritam atetam, in the sense when the life goes, life force, vayu, that is pranavayu, when it goes off, then the body becomes, it is of course, he leaves. He leaves, when the vayu who is existent in your body, who has been activating, who is activating you, when he goes, it happens. How it happens? Vayur anilam. Vayu is having the power only from the Brahman, the ultimate power, Vishnu. Anilam, Nilaya, he is Nilaya in Vayu. When Vayu comes into your body, when the birth takes place, when the baby cries first, Jab hum paida hue, hum roye, when he says, when we cry, it is when the first jest of air that has come in and it reaches. When it goes, it is the Brahman who is activated, he is inside, he is Nilaya in the prana. That is how it goes. So when it finally, when the body, when it leaves the body also, Vayur anilam amritam adetam, because when it goes, when Vayu goes, the Nilaya, because the Brahman who was Nilaya, who is in your Hridaya Akasha, he also goes off with that. That is how only body is left. So when it goes, it is in your Sushma Sarira. The soul is in your Sushma Sarira, only Stula Sarira, is left out in the earth, which is being consigned to flames. It goes off. Vayuranilam Amritam Adetam Basmantam Sariram. Finally, because it goes off and all. You see why it has been specifically said like that? Because we all know that, because it goes off. It is only to show when the Vayu goes, the Pranavayu, because we say, Vayu Jivotama, when he goes, he's the Jivotama. Even the Hari Sarvotama, who is the Nilaya in that, also goes off. When they goes off, there is no regulator in this body. The body is left out, but he is a regulator of the soul. He is the Sushma Sarira, it goes off. There, the Sushma Sarira still has the Brahman there and all. But the Stula Sarira goes off. This is what we will have to understand. Vayur Anilam Amritam Atetam Basmantam Shariram. Why we have to say the Shariram is always we know because it's all consigned. Earth to earth, dust to dust, ashes to ashes. Why it has to be said? It is being said like that because even the Brahma, who has been the creation of the Almighty Brahman, and even when he has to get his final knowledge, Amritam, Vayur Anilam Amritam. When you are getting Amritam, Mrityu is Amritam. When you become immortal, when you don't have Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Moha, and when you don't have any agitation, and when you are having a calm and clear mind, that is you become from mortal to immortal. Even as a mortal, if you are having, you become immortal. In the sense, you will not be affected by all these things. So that is why even Brahman and all, finally they have to get that Amritatvam. They also have to leave the body. That's why Basmantam Sariram. That Upanishad says, it is not only for human being, even whoever wants to get finally the Amritatvam. Brahma has also got a lifetime, 36,000 crore years. That 36,000 crore years, once it is over, when he has to get that Amritatvam, he also has get the redemption. He also had to give up his Stula Sarira. Stula Sarira in the sense, the symbolic, figurative, that he has to leave the Sarira. And the only thing that is being said is in Pralaya, Vayu become a Jivotama, he doesn't leave the body as it is, he becomes dormant. Dormant in the sense he is inactive. But when the Srishti takes place, again he becomes active. So when the creation takes place, he can again give life force to the entire body. This is what the scriptures say, because we will have to go into the great scriptural knowledge of Harivamsa and all other things and all. This is the import of it. This is what we have taken Isavasya Upanishad. Isavasya Upanishad is very helpful in understanding that, because when your body is going to be this one, what we call Preta and all, Preta is Prakrishtapayana, because which is Prete, Mrityu, Prete Mukte Manushye Niyamatvena Bhagavan Astiti Jnaninaha. It's not only, one who is the Mukta also. Mukta is the one who is having a Stula Sarira, the Brahman is still residing. That is one he is called the Mukta. Prete here means those who have left the body and they have gone to the Mukta stage. This is what the interpretation. But why it is said that Preta could be, something else also? Because there are another word. Once you leave the body, the soul could be having the mukti. It can have a moksha, mukti, or it can also go for the rebirth again. See, that possibility is also there. This has been explained in detail. There are a lot of, because we will have to take some mantras of fifth Valli also, second Valli also, to conclude that, the Prete, what it says here is not the mere body, the dense body. It talks about this Stula Sarira, Sushma Sarira. It's not about Stula Sarira, it is Sushma Sarira, where the soul has got the another journey where he is still being regulated by Brahman. This is the knowledge, finally we will have to get out of that. Even after going up to this life, you finally get it. For information's sake, what has happened scientifically, a lot of experiments have been done. They try to find, what happens and all. They've said, because when you are having, because all the attachments are there, when you are trying to think about it, you got still a lot of things and all. Your final sort of the moment becomes quite, chaotic. But when you are having, because with this all this yajna, dana, tapa, what we said, once you have practiced it, and the people have a calm and clear mind. In fact, they had taken the journey so well, even scientifically also. That is one Peter Fenwick, Dr. Peter Fenwick. You can also see the YouTube, because he is also in consciousness. TV is there. He said that. So how why this question is asking? Some say because it is there. Some say it is not there, and we don't know that. So etat vidya anusishta tvayame aham tvaya aham. From you, I want to know that. I want to know this knowledge. So who are all the ones who say it is there, and who are all the ones which is not there? Why they are saying so? What is the purpose this Nachiketa is asking for that? So by asking that, what is the great knowledge we are going to derive out of this? This is what we will see in the next session, because this is going to be because next session I have kept it only for that, so that the others will also be there. We can go into the depth of it. And when we mean, it is not the apparent meaning from the Upanishad. That's why, it is always a secret knowledge. You will not be able to take the apparent words and meanings as it is. You will have to go into the etymological meaning and the bhashyas, how it has been interpreted by the acharyas, and how it has been further followed in these verses itself. Because here the verses of the Kathopanishad itself, we will take and give, how we can get the knowledge out of that, followed by lot of quotes from Gita. That is how we will be able to get this great knowledge. And next week, it will be what happens after the soul leaves the body, or simply after death. That is what we will see in detail. This is being scientifically explored, and this is also being interpreted by various other religions. We will see the whole gamut of it, the entire philosophy of it, to understand that. Because finally, this Upanishad says in the Valli number 3, once you know this, not only you will not have any fear, or you will not have any sort of subjective subjective anxiety to look into this. In fact, you will be looking into fearlessly, and not only that, you will be looking for what the ananta loka, because we get the samyak, because when finally the highest pleasure, the highest modate, what you get, the rejoicing a human being is destined to get, is only by this knowledge that comes in the Valli. It is like a Palashruti in the third Valli. That's what I said. In this Upanishad only, in the third Valli, in between a Palashruti has come, not at the end of it. That we'll also see. With this, I will try to conclude today's, this session. It is more of a prelude to get a great discussion next week onto this whole gamut of a philosophy and what we have to take and what is the takeaway from entire discussions. And we will also see how Yama is trying to take this question, and that will be entire interesting to see. It's not straight away giving the answers and all as you go by. Not only that, he tests and he also takes him, so that the knowledge is getting into full-fledged. It's not the half knowledge. You get the full knowledge. That is the greatness of the Upanishad. We will see next week. We will try to conclude today, and we will go for a small meditation of Ayusha Suttam, which we said. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahaihi, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.